Talk about diamonds and synthetically made diamonds. Right, the first one you're about to see is called the Hope diamond. It's from India. A lot of people say it's cursed because under a UV light it shines red. It's a blue giant diamond called the Hope diamond. It's 45.5 carats, which is a lot. It's a big old diamond, and one of the biggest, I believe, that's ever been found. But it's blue because it's got boron and nitrogen in it. And when ultraviolet light is shined on it, it will shine up red. Hence they say it was cursed because of the red glow when ultraviolet light was shined on it. It's not. It's because it's got nitrogen and boron in it, as well as the obvious carbons. You know, most stuff in life is carbon based, as you know. So this coming up is called the Hope diamond. It's 45.5 carats. It's a blue diamond because it's got boron in it. I'll talk about that more after. This is the picture of a supernova, and a supernova, as we all know, is basically a red giant, which is basically a sun, a star, planet that's exploded and gone supernova. And when they go supernova, at the core of the red giant, as it's expanding and getting to that point where it's about to explode and go supernova, helium is bombarding and so, you know, crushed and you know, under pressure, that it creates carbon atoms. And obviously once the star, you know, reaches its critical mass and runs out of, you know, fuel, basically it expands, explodes and shoots out across the bloody universe. And that's where carbon atoms come from, the center of stars, from, you know, the helium being crushed and turned into carbon. There you go, that's what this picture is. This is a picture of a star that's already gone supernova. The supernova's passed, and now the surrounding particles that are the remnants of that explosion are now circling around and gathering together and sticking together and making things like planets like Earth and other planetary bodies and all that. That's what this picture is. This is pretty much the Earth's core, how magma rises up through the mantle and to the surface of the Earth out of volcanoes, and pretty much spews out the diamonds that have taken billions of years to make, that we are now making in a lab in 4 days, but they took billions of years to rise up. So that's what this one is. This video is, you know, a picture of the Earth, its core, the rising magma, and then at the top a volcano spouting out, you know, all the rocks and molten lava, and in that will be your diamonds. This one is the first synthetically made diamond ever. In 1951 they made it, and it was done by a process called CVD, chemical vapor deposition. It's the first ever diamond that they made synthetically, and I'll tell you how in a bit. This is pretty much a picture of that chamber of a diamond being bombarded with methane and hydrogen and agitated by microwaves to, you know, make hydrogen, carbon, atoms drop onto the seeded thing. That's what this picture is. This is a pile of pretty much graphene, which is carbon, which is what you see in a pencil, which is what they use as a powder, and they also put that in when they crush you know, the diamonds with you know, atmospheric pressures of PSIs of really high degree, along with methane and hydrogen, you know, excited via microwaves. They also put you know, pencil lead, basically, you know, in, you know, dust inside it, which helps create, you know, the carbon via microwaves, and helps the existing seed diamond grow into a 3-4 times the size it was before it was put in that process. Amazing. This is a picture of a sheet of synthetically made diamonds, because diamonds in their, you know, the state that they came in, that they come in naturally or even synthetically, are not ideal for things like, you know, small stuff like putting in computers that we use silicon for at the moment, which are going to be replaced in the next, I don't know how many years, but diamonds are going to replace silicon, which is pretty much is what's in your phone, your TV, everything electrical. It's all silicon based in it, you know, but that can only withstand temperatures up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. After that, it overheats and pop. So they're trying to transfer silicon into diamond, you know, for use of in computers and, you know, all technological stuff and other stuff, you know, even down to surgical knives, you know, sharp surgical knives, sharpened edges, you know, because diamonds are hard and they don't, you know, thingy. So yeah, that's what you're about to see here. This is a sheet of synthetically made diamonds via that CVD I spoke about. Okay. This one is a sheet of synthetically made diamonds that were made via the CVD, the chemical vapor deposition process, which is pretty much where they put a seed diamond into a vacuum. They do it 2 ways. I think they do it 3 ways, but 2 ways I know of. One, they do it in a vacuum and they heat it to 1,300 degrees and they bombard it with methane and hydrogen, and what they do, they microwave those atoms of heat, methane and hydrogen, and when it's microwaved, it excites the atoms to turn into carbon, which fall down and attach to the seed, what they call a seed diamond, which they put, is basically a little tiny diamond that they put in the vacuum or the press, because they do it via a vacuum, and they also do it via compression. You know, do it both ways. The vacuum, as I say, is at 1,300 degrees, and the compression with the heat is 3,800 degrees, and it's pressured, you know, to a certain degree PSI to make the, you know, agitated methane and hydrogen atoms turn into carbon atoms and attach to the surface of the existing diamond that they put in to the vacuum or the pressurized chamber, which is what you're about to see. Right, this is called a black diamond, and it's called a black diamond because it's pretty much infused and made out in space, and it arrives on Earth via meteors, and it's black because of all the dust particles and the many different types of crystals that it picks up to make it that black diamond. It looks like a piece of carbon, to be honest with you. It's actually a black diamond, and it's porous as well. It's slightly porous, so it's got holes in it, whereas the diamonds made on the planet are, you know, compressed so much so there's no holes, there's no, you know, they're just solid. They do have small imperfections in them, in our, you know, on the Earth diamonds, the clear diamonds, which is where they can be cut, because these imperfections allow it to be cut because they're hard. As I say, diamonds are forever, but they're not. They do have imperfections. but these black diamonds, which are called, I believe they're carbonados, yeah, carbonados, are infused with many different minerals and many different crystals, and are black, as I say, because of the dust that's in the atmosphere they pick up out in space. That's what you're about to see. Basically, to finish it off, clear diamonds are not very good conductors of electricity. Blue diamonds, because they've got boron in them, are much better conductors of electricity. Hence, they're making what they call super diamonds, chemically fabricated in a lab under pressure and under, certain circumstances via this CVD process, which, is, like I said, where they infuse with graphite dust and methane and hydrogen gas, microwaved, excites them, turns it into carbon, that drops down and onto the seeded, the little tiny diamond they put in there to start a seeded diamond. It drops down, the carbon drops down and adds to that diamond and makes a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger diamond. That's how they do it.